Welcome everyone. In this section we are going to understand creation of the visualizations in Tableau. Let us start with that. First of all, we need to understand the show me panel here in the Tableau. As you can see on the top right corner there is a show me panel. If clicked on this, it will display all the different types of visuals available in Tableau readily and the conditions required for those visuals. Like if I hover over the first chart that is showing as text tables, you can see at the bottom it is displaying for text tables try one or more dimensions and one or more measures required for these text tables. Similarly, heat maps and highlight tables and all such are available. Let us start with creating the bar charts first. For bar charts, it is at least one measure and the dimension is required. So let us drag, for example, the subcategory into the column, and let me take the cells, the numerical column here, into the rows. And based on this, we had created the bar chart, or you can say column chart. We can definitely switch the categories and the sum of cells into rows and columns by clicking onto this option. So it will turn into the bar chart and now it will turn into the column chart. This is how we had achieved the creation of column chart. Now, what are the different criteria available through which we can make this more dynamic? So you can see in the marks, we have all the features available such as color, size, labels accordingly. For that purpose, let me first arrange this into the ascending order. Now, if suppose I want to see the region wise distribution of the cells of each subcategory, then let me drag the region into the color. Now you can see what happens next. The same graph turns with all the regions colored differently into each column. And now if I put the sum of cells into the label, then I will get information for each color here. That is, for each region I will get the numbers highlighted. So each subcategory is showing me and giving me the detail of all the cells with respect to the region. This is how we had made this graph more dynamic, more speaking. So in this way the chart has become more expressive. Anyone can make out the information from it. Next type of graph we can create is the line graph. For line graph, it is very important to understand that in line, generally we consider the date type of columns, so that we can, for line charts, we generally consider the date columns so that we can get the information of the data as per the year or the month or the week, etc. Let us drag one such column like sheet date, and let us try to drag this time profit onto here. So currently it is showing me default year wise profit that has happened in the as per the data. If I want to see the same with respect to the months, then it is showing me with respect to the month, like in January these are the sales. Of course, if you want to see the numbers in the line chart, drag the cells onto the label, you get the labels accordingly, right? Next, again, if you want to see the same thing with respect to the day wise, then you will get the same information day wise. So these are all the options available to us. So day number 1, that is first day of the month, second day of the month, accordingly the line chart is used to get the information about the progress, sum wise, revenue wise, profit wise, etc. That is about the line chart. Next, let us go towards the pie chart. For pie chart, let me take you to the next sheet and go to the show me panel, which helps us to understand what is the requirement of the pie chart. If I hover over the pie chart, you can see it asks for at least one dimension and one measure. For that purpose, let me you can select the region here, shift the control button and say sales again. Now you can see, because I had selected one dimension and one measure, the highlighted charts are all those which are possible through the one dimension and one measure values. Let me click on to the pie chart. So we had created a pie chart using the region as the dimension and sales as a measure values. Now we can increase the size of this pie chart by going into the size option. So this is the pie chart that is obtained, but to make it more expressive, let me take you to the entire view first. Let us close the show me option. Now let us increase the size of the pie chart, and now it is showing us four different colors. What are those four colors? These are the region. So let like it is looking like a blank pie chart. Let us make it more expressive by dragging the respective options into it. So I will drag region into the label. So now the west is the gray, blue is the central region, south is the red region, east is the orange region. Again, I want to know what is the total sum. Of course, the tooltip that appears whenever I hover over to the pie chart, it shows me the different cells and the regions accordingly. You can see I'm hovering and it is showing me the tooltips. But what if I want to see all this on the chart also? Then I need to drag the sum of cells into the labels, and you are getting the same options again. Fine. But generally, we need to see the percentage values in the pie charts. For that purpose, I will go into the sum of cells here and go to the drop down. In the drop down, I will click on the quick table calculation. In the quick table calculations, let us go to the percentage of total, and now you see the same number has turned into the percentage. That means the tooltips says the total sales in the west region is 7,25,458. That is 31% contribution of the west region in the total sales of the data. That is the pie chart we had created. Now let us go to the tree maps. Let us understand how to create the tree map. Let me take you to the next sheet. Again, the show me panel will help us understand how we can create the tree map. Yes, so if I hover over to this chart, this is the tree map chart, and it is saying we require at least one dimension and at least one measure. So once again, I will select the region, and by clicking the control button, I am clicking on the cells. You can see I had met the requirement, and that's why the heat map and that's why the tree map has been activated. I will click on the tree map, and here you see the tree map has been created. Now the tree map is showing me four different rectangles. First rectangle is for the west region, second is central, third is the east, and the last is the south. In the tree map, it is always ascending order wise volume is acquired. The west region is contributing highest in the cells, that's why it is occupying the most biggest rectangle in the area, followed by the east region and then the central and lastly the south. Fine, let us make it more expressive again. For that purpose, I will drag the cells into the label so that I will get the information in the tree map. Fine, and now if I want to change the color theme, if you are not happy or you want to change the color theme, definitely I'll click on the color, say edit colors. in that you can choose different options like this and click OK. Here are the colors themes. In this way we can change the theme of the colors. That's how we had created the tree map. Now let us move on to the next plot, that is called scatter plot. If you hover over the show me maps, this is the scatter plot, and it says for the scatter plot 0 dimensions or more dimensions are, but at least 2 measures are required. Okay, fine. For that purpose, then let us click on the profit and sales, right? After clicking on these two measures, you can see the scatter plot has been activated. Now I am clicking on this scatter plot. You can see one single dot has appeared. It is showing me the information. But to make out the information with respect to some region, or you may say segments. So after clicking on the scatter plot, you see the scatter plot has appeared with only one single dot you can see. Of course, we can increase the size of these dots like this, and you can change even the color of this dot. I want to suppose select this. It has turned accordingly, but this is not giving me much information. So scatter plot are basically used to get detailed information about the sum and profits accordingly with respect to say region or segment. If you want to get the information with respect to the region, then drag the region into the colors, and now you can see the region wise information is being displayed. So this is the panel that shows me the colors of the region. So orange color is the east, red is for the south. Of course, let us like drag the cells into the labels to get the information, respective information, and even the profit of the values are displayed in the respective circles, right? Similarly, if you want to see the same thing with respect to the subcategory, drag the same into the colors. Now you can see different colors with their names on the right of the panel and their respective profit and the sum of sales accordingly. This is how we had achieved the scatter plot. Let us move on to the next type of chart, that is bubble chart. So I will take you to the next sheet and let us click on the show me, which will help us to understand the requirements of the bubble chart. Okay. So next type of chart is the packed bubble chart. Let me take you to the packed bubble chart. I had already hovered over to this packed bubble chart. It requires one dimension and one measures. Fine. For that purpose, let me click on the segment and the cells again. Now it has activated. I'll click on the packed bubble chart. This is the packed bubble chart. So in this segment, we have three segments: consumer, corporate, and home office. In that, we can achieve the information by dragging the sum of cells into the label, and here we got the information of the respective. In the bubble chart, the more the cells, bigger is the bubble accordingly. So it is very easy to make out which segment is giving us the maximum cells or the lowest cells. Those were few type of charts we have just explored. Even there is one more type of thing we need to understand, that is drag and drop analytics. Let us try to understand, which is very important feature in Tableau. So the next type of feature that is available in Tableau is a drag and drop analytics. This is helpful whenever you want to analyze only the part of the data. In case, then you just have to select the part of the data from the sheet, then hover onto the selection edge when such type of icon will appear, and then just drag this selection. You can see it is dragging, and now go to the Tableau and drop in here. So that part of the data only is copied or imported into the Tableau, and now you can definitely play with the data or use it for the analyze or visualization. Like suppose I am dragging the segment and the quantity here, you get the graph of this respective data. Thank you for watching the video.
To know more about Itvedant, visit our website